Tucker's going to be late, so as soon as Bob sits back down.
She's going to have an interview, I think, or she did already with Paul Scott and Grant Blanket.
Man, I was 3 seconds early. What you talking about?
That's literally 3 seconds early.
She's done a lot of things.
Hey, Mark, how's that for cutting it close from Farmington Hills?
I mean, it's just like me. I'd be horrible.
She's got to get him playing like
No.
that.
You ready to roll, sir?
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, like, look, I'm on the floor.
I don't know if I want to brag about that one.
You got to be in charge.
All right. Welcome, everyone. It's now 6:30 p.m. I'd like to call to order the Fenton Township Board meeting on the 30th day of July, 2024. I ask everyone to please stand for the opening prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Recording
Trustee
in progress.
Will you lead us?
Yes, sir, thank you. Lord, as we gather here this evening, we ask you to look over us as we conduct this meeting. Help us to make sound decisions for the residents of Fenton Township. Help us to remember our duty and service to all the members of our community. Bless the sick, the injured, and the dead as we pray for an end to the conflicts that exist in the world today. We ask this in your most holy name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As always, thanks, Mark. Clerk Krug, will you please call the roll?
Yes. Lorraine,
Present.
Reed, Kotrick,
Present.
Krug is present, Kessler,
Here.
Gopal,
Here.
Tucker is late, as usual.
We have a quorum. All right, I'd like to note for the record that Township Attorney Jack Belzer, our Operations Manager Tom Broker, and Township Assessor Julia Wilson are also present. Additionally, the following Township officials are present via Zoom. We have Melissa and Alan Lawrence from Lawrence Engineering, and we have our Zoning Administrator Mike Dean. I think that's the M out there.
Yes, I believe you're right.
All right, Tom, will you detail the procedures for those attending tonight's virtual meeting?
Yes, to the members of the public attending tonight's meeting in person or via Zoom, please be advised the meeting is being recorded to be shown on Public Access TV, Spectrum Channel 191. Recorded meetings are also posted on the Fenton Area Community Television YouTube channel. For those attending via Zoom, we ask that you keep your microphone muted until we reach portions of the meeting where public comment is allowed. For tonight's meeting, there are two public hearings pertaining to a street improvement special assessment for Pinnacle Shores and a lake improvement special assessment for Loon Lake. Public comment will be taken during each of these public hearings. All other public comment will be taken near the end of the meeting. Meeting materials are available for download on the Township's website at fentontownship.org.
All right, thanks, Tom. Moving on to the first business in order is the approval of the agenda. Are there any requests to amend tonight's agenda? Hearing none, a motion is in order to approve the agenda as presented.
So move.
Support.
All right, motion's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Krug, will you please call the roll?
I vote yes. Kotrick,
Yes.
Kessler,
Yes.
Reed is absent, Gopal,
Yes.
Tucker is absent currently, Lorraine.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, the agenda stands approved as presented. Moving on to the next business order is the meeting minutes. Included in the packet are the meeting minutes from the July 16th regular meeting. Are there any corrections or requested revisions to these meeting minutes? Hearing none, the meeting minutes stand approved as presented. Moving on to expenditures. Are there any questions from the board regarding any of the invoices? All right, hearing none, a motion is in order to approve the expenditures totaling $883,598.88 for payment.
I'll move the motion.
I'll support it.
All right, motion's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Krug, will you please call the roll?
Yes. Reed is absent, Gopal.
Yes.
Tucker is absent, Kessler,
Yes.
Lorraine.
Yes.
I vote yes. Kotrick,
Yes.
motion passes.
Thanks, Bob. The expenditures stand approved as presented. Moving on to the next business in order, which is public hearings. Tonight we have Pinnacle Shores Street Improvement Special Assessment District. This is the hearing on special assessment roll. This is a public hearing on the special assessment roll for the Pinnacle Shores Street Improvement Special Assessment District. We've all reviewed the memo in the packet. Operations Manager Broker, will you provide details?
Yes, as reported at the last meeting, the low bid for the project was actually about 3.5% under the original estimate from last year, which is good news. It results in a per lot assessment of $6,866.11, which is $232 lower than the original estimate. If the roll is confirmed as submitted, those assessments will be spread over a 10-year period with interest.
All right, thanks, Tom. The board will now accept public comment on the following: an individual's assessment in relation to the benefit received, the total cost of the project, and the validity of the proceedings to date. I will now open up the meeting for public comment. Tom, is there any written comments in the packet?
We did receive one. It's in the packet. Let me find it here. Here it is. It was from Dimitri and Jacqueline Contorosis. I might have messed up that name, but they are. They're saying that they would rather have the project delayed due to the project the subdivision still being under construction. I think that, first of all, the objection should have come before we created the district last year, but number two, I think that conversation already took place, and if the road is constructed properly, the construction traffic is not going to really negatively impact the road. And if the township were to wait to do the project until all the building was done, that could be a long time. So I think the decision was made a year ago that this needed to move forward, but that objection is on the record and is included in the packet.
Thanks, Tom. All right, is there anyone here in person that would like to address the board? And at this time, it's only on these assessment or the public hearing portion for Pinnacle Shores Improvement Special Assessment. Yes, sir. Can you come up to the mic? Just state your name, if you don't mind.
My name's Randy Merling. I live at 4400 Oak Tree Trail, second house on as you enter the subdivision. One major question is, this is done under a bond situation, right? Is how they're taking care of this? And is it the interest rate, is it a fixed or a variable? Number one, that's question number one. Over the course of the 10 years.
Do you want us to answer them in order?
I'm sorry?
I didn't know how many questions you had. Do you want us to answer each one now?
This is question number one. It is the interest, is it going to be a fixed or a variable rate over the course of 10 years?
It will be a fixed rate. So right now the plan is we have another project that's about a month behind in the process. Our plan is to combine both projects under a single bond to save some of the bond issuance costs. And so the interest rate on the special assessment by statute will be 1% over the interest rate on the bonds that are sold. So if we get 4.5% on the bonds, then the interest rate on the special assessment will be 5.5%.
So roughly 5.5%.
That's an example. I don't know what the market is right now, but it'll be 1% over whatever we get on the bond sale.
Okay.
And just so you know, you can prepay that at any time.
That was going to be my next question.
I knew it was.
There's 68, yeah, well, everybody here wants to know, can I pay it up front, or do I have to
You can
go
pay
the
the
course
first
of the
year's
10 years?
assessment and then pay it off a year from now.
Well, what will happen is after we confirm the roll, if the roll is confirmed tonight, you'll get a notice in the mail that says, here's your assessment. You'll have until, I think September 1st is what we have in the resolution, till September 1st to pay it off without any interest. Then after that, then interest would be added for whatever time period from September 1st till the time it's paid off.
And just so everybody knows, roughly, ballpark, that comes out to roughly $686 a year for your tax, and then plus the interest. Is
Exactly.
the way I interpret it.
Yes,
Okay.
it's level principal, so it's the same amount of
Okay.
principal each year.
Or the 6,800 if you pay the whole price tag
Right.
up front, whatever it is. Okay. There's did I not read in the letter that there's also, they have to go through another qualification or 30-day period because the county, they got to get everything organized through them? Was there something to do with that?
Not
No.
that I know of.
No,
No?
actually, right now, I just received notice this morning, the pre-construction meeting for the project is next Tuesday. at the road commission. Our engineer will be attending in my stead because Bob and I are going to be kind of busy on Tuesday.
So when do you expect to start?
I will find out at that meeting on Tuesday, but I think
Okay,
if
or
they're
maybe
having the
that's what this
pre-construction
was-
meeting, we're within 2 weeks of starting.
That's, all right, that's what I was questioning.
Yeah.
I misread what I thought it said.
So what we'll do, since the pre-construction meeting is so near, I think we'll wait on the notification letters until that meeting takes place, and we'll communicate whatever we learn at the pre-con meeting in that letter that confirms your special assessment.
And what we need is a confirmation of 50% or more than 50% of the residents in that area for this to all take place.
Oh, that was
That's already
the
been
beginning
That's said and
part of
done,
the
right?
process.
Okay.
This is the
Well,
last step.
well, because the price tag came in under, so that's,
Right.
yeah, okay, all right, gotcha,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, if it had been 10% over,
Then we needed to do
then
that.
this hearing
yes.
would have included discussion about, do you still want to move forward with the
Right.
project or not?
Okay.
Since it came in under, there's no discussion, we
Done
move
deal,
forward.
okay. All right, great, thanks.
Thanks, Randy. Is there anyone else that's present that would like to address the board? All right, hearing none, we will move on to Zoom. Is there anybody attending via Zoom that would like to address the board? If so, just unmute your mic or wave your hand or... Anyone via Zoom?
I don't see anybody.
All right. I will now close the public hearing. Move on to the board. Are there any questions or comments from the board?
No, just I personally benefit from it, so I abstained, just so people
Yep.
know why I'm not voting.
We don't have to vote on that because, right,
That was
he's already
approved
abstained.
early on, yep.
Yep. No other discussion? All right, resolution number 2024-23. Clerk Krug, will you please present the resolution?
Yes. Confirm special assessment roll 2024-05 as the assessment roll for the Pinnacle Shores Improvement Special Assessment District. Divides the assessment in 10 annual installments with the first installment due December 1st, 2024. Sets the rate at 1% above the average interest rate on the bonds sold to finance the project. Provide an early option and assess of a 1% per month penalty on late installments. Directs the clerk to deliver the special assessment roll with warrant to the treasurer. Directs the treasurer to collect a special assessment. Repeals any conflicting resolutions. I'll move the resolution.
Support. All right, motion been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All right, hearing none, Clerk Krug, will you please call the roll?
Yes, contract.
Abstaining.
Oh, that's right, I'm sorry. Kessler,
Yes.
I vote yes. Gopal.
Yes.
Tucker,
Yes.
Lorraine,
Yes.
Reed is absent. Motion, or resolution passes.
Thanks, Bob. All right, moving on. Next under public hearings is proposed Lake Improvement Special Assessment District, Loon Lake. This is the hearing of necessity. This is a public hearing on the creation of a new lake improvement special assessment district for Loon Lake for the continuation of the weed control program. The total estimated cost of the project is $249,500.40, and that will be spread over a 5-year period. The board will now accept public comment on the following: the creation of the special assessment district, the proposed boundaries of the district, the necessity of the improvement, the preliminary plans for the improvement, and the estimated cost for the improvement. I will now open up the meeting for public comment. Tom, any written?
We had, there is a letter from the association, not a written objection, but Dave Weber, who is kind of the person on the association that initiated redoing the special assessment again, couldn't be here, so there's a letter in there explaining what they're trying to do. And one of the things he points out is because it's a shallow lake, they're putting a little more resources into the program to try to keep it clean. So it's a little more cost than what they had last time around. But you know, I think they've had discussions among their association.
Okay. All right, is there anyone here in person that would like to address the board? Yes, ma'am. Come on up. If you would, just state your name.
My name is Linda Fritz. I live on Loon Lake Court, 3460. We were first told that the cost of this would have been about $10,000 to put this aerator on, and they suggested putting, Dave did, on at the end of his lake, on the side of the lake, which is the far end from Jennings' back side of the lake. That does not help any of us, and plus, now you said it's 245,000?
Correct. 249,500.
Okay. That's a lot more than when we had the meeting when he was looking into it. Do you know how much that would cost the lake people? You know, the houses that are on there?
Yes, we have the,
Well, so just to be clear, the hearing tonight is on the creation of the district and the total costs, but the allocation of the cost to the property owners would be at a second hearing on the roll. But we do have a proposed special assessment roll, and it's $429 the first year and $412.50 each year after that is the proposed special assessment roll.
So $429 on your taxes, correct?
It would be a special assessment line on your winter tax bill, that's correct.
Because I'm against it for that kind of money.
okay. Thank you, Linda. Anybody else in attendance? Come on up, sir. If you could just state your name.
Mike Grays, I'm the on the board for the Friends of Loon Lake. I can answer a few of the questions. So the assessment that was created is to renew or redo for the next 5 years for weed treatment, which is what we already have. It's a little bit more because of the cost of materials used to treat the weeds. The muck issue that you're talking about that we were researching, we are not going with that. We're looking at a cheaper method where we're hand adding these materials into the water, these extra minerals, rather than the tank system. So it is more than it previously was the last 5 years, but it's not, it still handles treating the fur weeds for up to 3 times a year.
Okay.
And
Thanks, Mike.
And I'm Steve McGee. I'm also on McFarland 4146, a board member. Just to reiterate, it has nothing to do with the aeration system, which we did discuss, but that would cost more. And some people like Mike have decided to do that on their own, but that's not happening at this point.
Okay.
Before you leave, has this been submitted to the Members Association on a vote at all?
It has. We had an annual association meeting. We talked about it. There were 3 prices, 3 different bids, and this one was the one that we did a lot of research. We've been very happy. The weeds are down this year compared to last and others. So we feel like we're ahead a little bit now, and we want to just keep the momentum. The only increase in price is literally, Mike had mentioned, just some incremental costs because it was 5 years ago.
And how many people voted to approve it?
It was just the meeting upstairs here, so it was not the whole lake. Just whatever was in the meeting room, maybe 20 people. And it wasn't a definite up or down because we were still in the process of getting the best bid.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Did you send out notification to everyone on the lake, though?
Oh, yeah. Always.
Regarding, okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anyone else in attendance that would like to address the board? All right. Hearing none, we'll move on to Zoom. Is there anyone attending via Zoom that would like to address the board? If so, unmute. Anybody up there? Mr. Tucker?
Says no.
All right. Since we have no one that is present or on Zoom, I will now close the public hearing. We'll turn it over to the board. Is there any questions or comments from the board?
How much was the prior assessment?
I don't have it with me. It was in the, I think it was in the 400 range.
Oh, was it?
It was high. It's a little higher. It may have been in the high 3s. I have
We're
to
not
look.
talking about doubling or anything
No,
like
no,
that.
no.
Okay.
They've always been on the high side because it's such a shallow lake. I think it requires a lot more treatment, and it's just the costs are higher. It's you know, if you remember, I think in their last assessment, they came back to us, I think 3 years ago and upped it for the remaining years to cover what they wanted to do.
Right. Yeah, because we're doing it by resolution, I usually take comfort in knowing how many people have approved it. If this was a significant increase, I certainly understand the lady's concern with respect to that, but I also understand not forcing everybody to go back through the petition process every time. So this is essentially a continuation of what's going on. I feel a little differently about it.
Thanks, John. Any other questions or comments from the board? Hearing none. Resolution number 2024-24. Clerk Krug, will you please present the resolution?
Yes, thank you. Approves the plans at an estimated cost of $249,500.40. Creates Loon Lake Improvement Special Assessment District. Number includes all properties with frontage on or legal access to Loon Lake. Directs the supervisor to create a special assessment role. Repeals any conflicting resolutions. I'll move the resolution.
Support. All right, motion's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Krug, will you please call the roll?
Yes. Gopel.
Yes.
Tucker.
Yes.
Lorraine.
Yes.
Petrick.
Yes.
I vote yes. Reed is absent. Kessler.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
All right, thanks, Bob. In anticipation of the adoption of the previous resolution, a special assessment roll has been created, certified, and filed with the Township Clerk. Resolution number 2024-25. Clerk Krug, will you please present the resolution?
It acknowledges the filing of the special assessment roll with the clerk and its availability for review until the public hearing. Schedules a public hearing on this special assessment roll at the August 20th board meeting. Directs the clerk to publish and mail the notice of hearing according to statute, and it repeals any conflicting resolutions. I'll move the resolution.
Support.
All right, motion's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Krug, will you please call the roll?
Yes. Kessler.
Yes.
I vote yes. Lorraine.
Yes.
Kotrick.
Yes.
Tucker.
Yes.
Gopel.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
All right, thanks, Bob. All right, next business order is reports. We have the APM mosquito control mid-year report. And we've reviewed the memo in our packet, or the report. Are there any questions or comments from the board? All right, yeah, clear the room with mosquitoes. All right, hearing none. Next, are there any committee reports to be made to the board this evening? Hearing none, move on to communications. We have none this evening. Moving on to the next business order is adoption of ordinances. This is rezoning number ZO24-002 BMP Laring LLC, parcel number 06-08-300-015. This is Laring Road, west of Linden Road, R3 to Ag. This is the second reading and vote on the adoption. Treasurer Tucker, do you have anything tonight that?
No, I mean, this is, generally speaking, we don't have any problem back zoning property.
No.
This is consistent with the neighboring properties around it. You know, I can come up with scenarios where there might be a problem, but none of them seem to apply to this. I don't want to call it a no-brainer because that always curses them, so I didn't say those words. But it seems like the right move.
All right. Are there any other questions or comments from the board? Okay, a motion is in order to adopt an amendment to zoning ordinance number 594 to rezone parcel 06-08-300-015 from R3 to Ag as presented.
So moved.
Support.
All right, motion's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Krug, will you please call the roll?
Yes. Tucker.
Yes.
Lorraine.
Yes.
Gopel.
Yes.
Kessler.
Yes.
Reed is absent. Petrick.
Yes.
and I vote yes, motion passes.
Thanks, Bob. All right, moving on to the next business order is unfinished business. Just want a reminder that our next board meeting is on August 20th. So that's basically due to not only the election, but what was the 3 weeks in there?
Well, we backed the first meeting.
Oh, that's right.
August to tonight because of
Yep.
the election, which created a 3-week gap.
3-week gap. All right, moving on to new business. This is resolution number 2024-26, New Lake Improvement Special Assessment District, Golden Pond. Operations Manager Broker, will you review?
Yes. So the Lake Improvement Special Assessment for Golden Pond expired after the 23 tax roll. We received a new 5-year proposal to continue the program under a new special assessment district. So the next step in the process is to schedule that public hearing of necessity, and there's a resolution in the board packet to do just that.
All right, thanks, Tom. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Okay, resolution number 2024-26. Clerk Crew, will you please present the resolution?
Yes, tentatively declares the township's intent to continue the lake improvement project for Golden Pond, tentatively designates the special assessment district as Golden Pond Improvement Special Assessment District 2, which includes all property with frontage on Golden Pond, schedules a public meeting for August 20th, 2024 at the Township Board meeting, directs the clerk to publish and mail the hearing notice in accordance with statute, repeals any conflicting resolutions. I'll move the resolution.
Support.
All right, motion's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Crew, will you please call the roll?
Lorraine,
Yes.
Kotrick,
Yes.
Kessler,
Yes.
Gopel,
Yes.
Tucker.
Yes.
I vote yes. Reed is absent. Motion passes.
All right. Thanks, Bob. All right, next under new business, this is a request for a Class C liquor license, Fenton Village Players. I know we've reviewed the request, and there is a memo from our zoning administrator. Move to questions. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Anything?
I guess just my concern looking at it is I was trying to figure out how much use they'd make of the liquor license. And it looks like I tried looking at their website. I'm not sure these are all the plays they put on, but it looks like it's, you know, they have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, maybe for 2 weeks for each performance, and then there's maybe 5 or 6 performances, maybe a couple more than that. I'm not sure because I can only see the ones like up till the end of the year. A year, so I'm thinking there's like maybe not a ton of nights where, if those are the only nights they're using the liquor license, where they'd be able to make use of it.
Well, I did meet with them. They are looking at this to expand those nights.
Okay.
But again, this is our last liquor license. So, you know, that's something you'd have to balance.
Right.
Any other questions or comments from the board? All right, hearing none, a motion is in order for the application from Fenton Village Players of Fenton, Michigan for a new quota Class C liquor license to be located at 14197 Torrey Road, Fenton, Michigan 48430, to be considered for approval or disapproval by the Michigan Liquor Control Commission.
I'll move the motion.
Second.
Motion's been moved and seconded.
Well,
So we have to...
for which one?
For which one? This would be for disapproval.
What?
Should we have to, I guess we're gonna have to do one or both.
What's
I think
that?
they're meant for approval.
Right, Tom?
Well, you'll need to make a motion one way or the other,
Right,
And
and then if it doesn't pass, then do the other one.
okay.
Was that in the motion?
Well, we'll start with the approval. Fenton, Michigan 484 to be considered for approval by the Michigan Liquor Control Commission. So did
Who
somebody
moved
still?
it? Did you move
Yep,
it, Mark?
and you seconded it.
Yeah,
I thought it was for approval, so
yeah,
I'm good with the second. Are you still good with the motion?
yeah.
Okay,
This is approval.
Approval.
this is for approval.
Yes.
All right, motion's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I would just like to reiterate to the board that I believe this license is in the spirit of what this township is about. I understand that limits our licenses, but I promise you, any big chain or big conglomerate that wants to come in here off Miller or Miller, see, Thompson Road's the new Miller Road now, thanks. Anyway, any big establishment, national, that wants to come in here, they're gonna have the money to give the state for an extra liquor license anyway. And I just,
Well, they can't just buy another license
oh, I
from the
bet
state.
they can't. I know you're saying they can't.
The state doesn't offer
the-
extra liquor licenses.
The quota is the quota, so
Well,
that needs to be
Yeah.
I
understood.
think, so he's saying they'd be able to buy it from someone else who holds a liquor license, not
There's
from
the
the state.
potential for that, yes.
Yeah, this
money talks.
Well, it used to be that you could not transfer them amongst local municipalities. You know, we had our quota, they had to stay here. They removed that. It's been quite a while ago now. So anybody that wants to buy a Class C, the prices have come down
It's
considerably.
like a carbon tax.
Yeah,
It's like a credit. You want to spend the money, you can get it from somewhere and put it here.
yeah.
That's my opinion.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna sound like a teetotaler, but I'd rather have these folks holding it than a bar and another heavy drinking establishment. So I think they're a good outfit.
Yeah, I generally agree with that too, that I think we want to give it to people who it benefits, who wouldn't otherwise be able to get one, and where they're doing sort of a productive use, which all of that I definitely agreed. My only concern was with the number of nights, but obviously they're trying to expand, and obviously the liquor license might help them expand, so
Kate, I think you need to show up for some of these plays.
I'm not really a player person.
I have showed up for them.
I'm teasing you.
I'm
No,
not much of a play person.
You know, well, no, I was talking about the drinking. I wasn't talking about the plays.
Now, see, if there were alcohol, then I'd probably be showing up at the plays, so maybe.
Problem solved.
Fenton Village players do a great job in Fenton. I've been there. Again, my only concern is that, you know, for an establishment, not about the big guys. I'm just talking about if somebody small that opened up a small restaurant that was going to be using it 7 days a week or 6 days a week, something like that. So it's not that it's not a great thing, but when you're limited to 20 or 30, whether it's 40, I think that it isn't really utilizing the Class C liquor license to its fullest potential. And I'm not talking about anybody big, hotels, anything. I'm talking about just somebody that wanted to open a Fenton winery. I mean, you know, that wanted to do a liquor. They would no longer have that opportunity. That's just my
I'm with
opinion.
you, however,
We already
you're
heard
not
you.
here yet. These people are applying for it. We have one to give, and I just think it'd be a travesty to deny this due to the fact that somebody eventually might come down the road that is a small establishment like they are, and ask for the same thing that we would potentially be denying them.
Okay.
And to Mark's point, I closed the deal a couple of months ago. It was in Argentine, but the same concept applies. It was moved from one of the drugstore chains that no longer is in business, a long ways away. And it wasn't the end of the world pricing on it. I mean, it used to be Class Cs were really outrageously priced.
50, weren't they?
So I don't think, to Mark's point, any national-based chain that wants a Class C well within the budget that they're gonna have for what they're gonna do. So I don't think we'll be chasing away business that way and using this for a nonprofit that is an asset to the community. I'm in agreement with that.
All right. Any other questions or comments from the board?
Are they gonna have good pizza like they do at the winery and brewery?
I don't know.
One way to find out, Bob.
Yeah,
You can go with Kate.
Well, if you drink.
I can go to Kate.
I eat way too much of that pizza. Way too much of that pizza.
It's tempting, definitely.
All right. So I already was requesting a motion,
I
so.
think you already got
I
that.
think we got the motion, we got the second.
Oh, we got the motion and
This was
second.
additional.
All right.
Go anytime, boss.
So there's no other further discussion. Operations, Clerk Crew, will you please call the roll? Thanks, Tom.
Kessler,
Yes.
Gopel,
Yes.
Reed is absent, Lorraine,
Yes.
Cottrell,
Yes.
I vote yes. Tucker,
Yes.
motion passes.
Look at that. All right, no problem. That motion passes. All right. Next under new business is proposal to replace multifunction copier printer scanner. Operations Manager Broker, will you review?
Yes. Got an analysis of proposal we received to replace our current Xerox multifunction unit. We leased it under a 5-year lease about 5.5 years ago, so it's expired, and now we're paying month to month, and it's a 5-year-old machine. So I would like to recommend, based on the proposals, re-upping with Xerox was the best deal, both from a cost and the number of copies included with the agreement for another 60 months on a 45 page per minute unit. It's actually a little less than what we're paying on the current one. We did get pricing through our membership in the My Deal, Michigan Deal cooperative purchasing program. So it's a standard Xerox price that's non-negotiable, but it's better than their top commercial clients, apparently, is what they're telling me. So that's my recommendation.
All right. Are there any questions or comments from the board?
I was just curious, I mean, maybe this is just how these are done, but I was wondering if we looked at lease versus purchase, kind of, which is more cost effective.
I did. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but because if you purchase, then you're going to have to buy the service contract as well, and it did not work out as well.
Okay.
So
I've done a bunch of them for our law firm. That's normally a $50 fine, but I think I paid them $50 for that. So that's the game that gets played. Because I'm with you. I'd rather buy it than lease it. You know, that's
Yeah,
just the
a
way I
general
lean.
instinct,
Yeah, it's your gut instinct, and what Tom just said is exactly what happens. You get to the end of that lease, and they go, oh, you still want it fixed, right?
Yeah.
And then that price goes right through the moon. So you end up doing this. I don't know why this is their preferred mode, but it's clearly, they want to keep regular turn of the product, I'm sure, but that's how they get you to do it, because I default the way you have. I've learned 3 times now that that's not the way it works.
Well, also, the useful life of stuff that, you know, a copying machine is usually about 5 years to be productive.
Me, baby, I ride it till
You
it
ride
dies,
it?
but you know, it's still, that's what they get you to do.
Yep. All
And the
right.
lease does cover all maintenance, service, parts, toner.
And copies.
Everything but paper.
Yeah. You know me, I'm pretty cheap. I looked it over. It was a good job.
Yep.
It was a good deal.
Yep.
All right, a motion is in order. Oh, any other questions or comments? All right, a motion is in order to approve a 60-month lease for a Xerox C8145H multifunction copier printer scanner unit as presented.
So moved. Support.
All right, motion's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Krug, will you please call the roll?
Reed is absent. Gopal?
Yes.
Tucker?
Yes.
Kessler?
Yes.
Lorraine?
Yes.
I vote yes. Patrick?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thanks, Bob. All right. Moving on to board comment. Is there anyone on the board that has additional comments or concerns?
Well, when we had a whole crowd, I was gonna mention, we have early voting going on.
Well, there's a lot of people that are watching it on.
I hope, but no, early voting is on. Tomorrow night, it goes till 7?
8.
8 o'clock. It starts at noon and goes to 8.
Tom, what is that? What's the alarm that's going off? It went off last meeting too.
I'm sorry?
You didn't hear the alarm? You didn't hear that? Just now?
Just now?
While Bob was talking?
Sound like from the kitchen area?
Yeah, somewhere back in here. You guys could hear it back there?
I could hear it.
Yeah. It's going off. It went off last meeting too. It
Really?
doesn't last but 10 seconds or so, but it makes me want to hide under the
The only
desk.
thing back there is the ice machine and the fridge.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's nothing.
Some
pleasant.
kind of an alarm going
I'll
off.
go take a peek when we're done and
Yeah.
put service out on it.
I didn't hear it either. But
Y'all get your hearing checked.
High frequency goes with.
Beer's cold enough.
oh, thank you.
That means it's time for the kegerator to get
There you go. Oh. All right. Any other board comment? I'm sure everybody's heard heard either through Tri-County or the news that the gentleman that was murdered here in our township, the murderer, has been caught and signed a confession, and he will be sitting in jail for life without parole. Excuse me?
Forever.
Yeah. So
I didn't
it was,
hear that. I didn't know
and
that.
the reason why I bring it up is because we have a great relationship with the sheriff's department. And I know that, as they do all, but they took it very seriously. And they wanted to make sure they put the effort in to get this taken care of, and they did. So our tax dollars are being used well. All right, next business order is public comment on agenda or non-agenda items. I'll now open up the meeting for public comment. If you do have something, we'd ask you to come up, state your name, and limit it to 3 minutes. Is there anybody here presently that would like to address the board on agenda or non-agenda items? All right, we will move on to Zoom. Is there anybody here tonight that's joined us via Zoom that would like to address the board on an agenda or a non-agenda item?
Don says no. Thank you.
All right, so we have no one in the audience, no one via Zoom. It is now 7:12 p.m. If there's nothing else, I say good night, and the meeting is adjourned. Good job. Thank you, everyone.